Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are back in the mini, no, it's not the mini actually. In the last video I kept saying mini even though you guys didn't hear it because I edited it out. This is not the mini, this is the Pocket Filofax planner. So we're back in this and I'm going to be doing some adjustments, some amendments, some upgrading. Hopefully that's something that you're interested in, and let's get into it. So I finally have my first trip coming up, and because I want to take this with me, I figured that it would make so much sense for me to record the process of how I feel like I want to set it up for this particular trip. One other thing that I've done outside of this planner is I got a new bag. Oh my gosh, wow, new bag, right? Oh, that's not a big deal, but you have to know I'm a mini girl type of handbag type of girl. All my bags are literally about this big. And I realized that if I want to be able to take this and everything else that I need in my life, I'm going to need a bigger bag. So I've got my first big girl, like big-ish handbag, because I can't do really big handbags, but I'll do like a medium-sized one. So I've got that, and this fits in really well there as well. So really glad that everything is falling into place. Now back to the planner. So in the last video I did a lot of like set up, and this won't be any different, but it's gonna, I have a better idea now of what I actually need it to be like, so I'm gonna be able to finesse this a little bit better basically. So first things first, I have these Filofax stickers that I mentioned in the last video, and I'm so in love with them. I've been really enjoying using them, so I ordered a clear envelope from Amazon to fit in here so I can cut this and put the stickers on the inside. So if it arrives in time and I'm able to add the footage in here, you'll see it, and that will probably like sit in the back somewhere, but I definitely wanted to take these with me, so I ordered that little like accessory for these. So they won't be in here like freestand or freehand, they'll actually be in a Ziploc for my trip. So that's great. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, when I was looking back at the footage on the last video, somehow like this postcard didn't look as cute on camera as it does in real life, which was, I was like, oh, shock, because it actually looks really, really good. And that got me thinking that I probably need to get a hole punch so that I can probably use it more so as a page divider versus just a random postcard that's sitting in my Filofax. So I'm having a look at different hole punch options, just because this is the pocket size. It comes with a slightly kind of like unique, obviously, dimensions. It needs slightly different dimensions, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I think I found one on Temu, long story short, and I'm gonna order it, but it won't get here in time for that trip. So more likely in the future I'll end up cutting this at some point into size in some way, somewhere like that, I don't know, and then I'll make it an insert instead of it just kind of like hanging around. But it is cute in real life. If you looked at it and you were like, oh, I don't think that should be there, girl, it's cute. I promise it's cute. It's really cute. So there's that. We still have this that I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I definitely want it in here some way, somehow. So I've just been, do you know what I mean, like put a clip on there and just pop it over there. And today I think I'm finally over my preciousness with this white thing. So let's see if we can go ahead and actually take it off, because I don't know how you're supposed to take it off, but let's see. Oh, maybe I think I'm supposed to pull it from the top. Let's see. Yep, just pull it from the top. That should take it out. Oh, wait, no. Oh. Oh. Girl. I'm probably not doing this right, you guys, so don't follow my lead, but it did come off. So there's that. Finally got a nice, fresh looking planner. So I did end up sticking these down with a little bit of Pritt stick because I still like them for a design element, which means they're pretty much stuck here semi-permanently, but that's okay. And I do have a couple, they do have layers underneath, so I can use them. It's still practical, but at least now they're not flying around everywhere. So let's go on to some of the things that I want to do. I went to TK Maxx and I saw these. These are shoe charms. So cute, right? And I will use these for my shoes, but they look like they could make sense as charms that we could use in the planner. So I wanted to see, I've been seeing people kind of like obviously deck out their planners and make them look super cute. So I just wanted to see if this is something that we'd be able to do ourselves. This was $3.99 from TK Maxx, and I think this one was $3.50 350, 349, because this one's pretty like just simple gold. These ones have a bit more embellishment. I want to try and see what we can do with this bow here. Let me just pull that out nice and softly. Gently. Right, so isn't it cute? Let me just go like this. How adorable. So adorable. Again, if this doesn't work in the planner, I'm definitely going to put these in my shoes. If I put that there at the bottom, it's going to get scuffed. The bow is going to get scuffed here, right? If I put it somewhere at the top, might be fine, right? Might be okay. And then we do have some other ones. So this is a mushroom. This is, I don't know what that is, but it's pink and it's cute and it's jeweled. And then this is a little flower. So let's put that one to the side. And then on this one, we have a horseshoe, we have a little teddy bear, which I think I might use the teddy bear actually. And then we also have a butterfly and then an eye. So actually it's between the butterfly and the teddy bear. Let me try the butterfly. Okay, oh, the butterfly is cute. The butterfly is cute. Maybe both of them can sit in there. I think the butterfly might get lost unless it's like at the bottom, which I think I like. Oh, I don't think I can even put this here at the top because it's just going to get folded and bent. So the bow, we're going to have to put that one to the side, and maybe we can just use the butterfly. Now, how do we open this? There we go. It basically opens like an earring. Yeah, it opens like an earring clasp like that. So I'm literally just going to hook it to the ring. This is probably not the most like secure way to get this charm style thing on there, but for now it'll just do until I figure out like another way. I also just realized it needs to be in there the opposite way so that the butterfly can show. And just like that. So there we go, there's that. And in the last video I did, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about the gold and silver together, right? So I'm still not sure about the gold and the silver together, but I don't think that looks terrible. And I just like a little something in there. So we'll keep that for now. I think that would be cute. Let me see, close it up. You can hear it jingling a little bit, but it's okay, it's still cute. All right, so I actually decided to add more of the charms to the spine of the ring, and it looks kind of cute. I know it's a little bit tricky to see because they are literally nestled in the side, but it's cute. I like it. Now let's see, we might have to just move this envelope in a little bit. Just a tad, so it doesn't interfere, but I think that's cute. I think that's very cute. Okay, really happy with that. I still have some charms left over, so I'll be using those for my shoes, which is great. Then we have got the next stage. So I have a rough idea of what I think, or how I think this is going to work, right? This planner is going to work for me, because I don't need it for pure organization purposes, but I do need it to do a little bit of organizing. So hence where this old banger comes into play. Now actually, before we go into the old banger, I'm just going to show you this. This is a clear plastic, random plastic thing that I got from packaging. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because this is going into my planner. But this is going to sound weird, but let me just explain my thought process, right? I have nails, and when I have nails, it's so hard to get in between very small things. If you have nails, you know, but I like having nails. So, you know, it's not an option for me to not have nails. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I like having nails. Anyway, I find it's like useful sometimes to have this, because if something's really hard on the table or something, I can just use it to scoop up, even with nails. Whereas with nails, sometimes I'm like fussing to pick it up like this, you know what I mean? But having this card is quite nice. just to scoop things up. So I'm going to be decorating this, and I'm going to put it in the back here somewhere to serve for that function. So you'll see this again, just in case you're wondering what is this. It is actually coming in handy. Women in STEM. Right, so let's talk about the organization. So many years ago, I was using, well, actually even up until recently, actually, I've been using this small planner here to organize or prep for holidays, mini stays, that kind of thing. And it's actually a really neat one. It's just basically come to its end because I don't really use it anymore. I've got lots of other planners that I need, but I really loved how it was designed, and it just made sense for what I needed it to do. So I had this pen here at the side and everything else. So I'll show you. So it basically had different sections, you know, separated by this, and then it also had the plastic Ziploc bag, which I really appreciated. Like I mentioned, I've ordered one from Amazon, so I will have one that will sit in here as well. So it has different sections, and the main section, well, I guess let's start off with the first section. This has got a planner section, right? So the planner section is basically, let me just not show my business. There we go. Just organized weekly, right? This says Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get the drift. But whatever your stay was, the way that I would use it was I would title where I was going and then put in what I need to be doing on each of those days, because a lot of my holidays were mini breaks. So I might just be going from Thursday to Saturday. So I'd only need that section there, really. You know, I wouldn't need a full monthly or a full daily. It's just to say this one, you know, take bus to coach station, coach at 5, you know, get there at 7, Friday, first thing in the morning, we're doing this, Saturday, come back Sunday, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I still want to keep that mechanism. And I really wish, oh my gosh, it's only this, they seem like they're similar sizes, but this is bigger than the pocket. And I was half thinking I might be able to cut the pages to size and then just like hole punch it to get them to fit in, but not all the pages will work that way. So anyway, I still need this mechanism, right? So what I'm going to do is, in the last episode, we did a little bit of upscaling some of these pages, and the pages were the contacts page, because I was like, I don't want to use them for contacts, I want to use them for something else. And essentially that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recreate this idea on here. So I'll be able to write down the location that I'm going to at the top. Then I'll be able to put the day and the dates, and then, you know, that could be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you know, it is what it is, because I only need these pages for top level stuff. I don't need them for, you know, play by play, minute by minute detail. It's just top level, you know, drive to XYZ, get there at 5, just stuff like that. So that's why I'm using this for this purpose. So the other section that I actually really enjoyed in this planner, that I kept going in this planner for, is this. It's got the packing list, and it was just basically a packing list, right? So they just outlined all the different things that you might need for your holiday, and then I would go in each trip and I would just tick off everything that I had packed into my suitcase as I was doing it. And this works so well. So all I would do was just write where I was going, and then I would just tick as I was going along, and I loved this. So this has actually got me thinking that I'm going to design this on Canva, my own version of it, print it out, and then hole punch it and put it in here. Right, that was one thought that I had. But the thing is, I don't necessarily need it as a record keeper, because I don't need to refer back to any planner to tell me whether or not I have my jacket in my suitcase type thing. Once it's in my suitcase, I know it's in there, right? And I won't necessarily need this for this part for memory keeping. I do like the fact that I do have, you know, everywhere that I've been, which is nice, but I don't need everything else like kept as a permanent record. So if I don't do the whole inserts thing, because I like it, but you know, in case I don't do that, I had another idea basically. So I was thinking that we've got this section here at the very front, which I titled out of the office, and I was mentioning that I think it's a xylophone type pullout, you know, whatever you call this. I was mentioning that because it's dated, you know, it's got all the months, I'm not going to use it for that purpose. I'm just going to cover the month, sorry, and replace it with the location that I'm going to, and then I'll be able to use the numbers for like listing itinerary or something else. So essentially what I was thinking was I could keep this front section as a key, if you will, of everything that I would need to carry with me, and then just be ticking it off with pencil as I'm packing it. And that way I pack everything that I need to pack, and because it's in pencil, I can just rub it out and be able to reuse it. But also what I can do with each of the sections is put any extra things that I would need to carry. So this planner had like, it had its main things, you know, like categorized in different areas. So you've got your essentials, toiletries, clothes, miscellaneous. Essentials have passport, ID, money, etc. Toiletries, toothbrush, shampoo, la da la da. But it also gave you an extra space and some spaces at the bottom to add other things that you might want to carry that aren't necessarily like, you know, just typical. So I was thinking that I could do that here in each of the different sections for the places that I want to go. And then that way, let's say I'm going to Paris, right? I'll cover that up. I'll say Paris, and then I might want to take my GoPro, because I don't typically take my GoPro, but I might do, so I'll create a box for that. And then maybe I want to take a nice hat, which I don't typically travel with hats because it's really hard to pack them, but let's say I want to, right? And then I can put those there, and maybe even if it's like just 2 or 3 of them, I still have space for other places that I want to go that will do the different sections. And it helps because sometimes, maybe another trip, I might be like, oh, I remember taking this thing to here. Maybe let me just see what else I took. I might also be able to take the same thing somewhere else, right? This is all just in my mind. I'm just thinking, I'm fleshing it out. I don't know how useful that's going to be until I actually am out and about and I get to see like whether or not that makes sense. So just bear with me. It might not make the absolute sense right now, but I'm trying to make it make sense. So essentially that's the idea. I'm going to recreate this here, and then I'll be able to see whether or not it's gonna work properly. I do have one more of it, and I really half want to just take it out and then fold it up and keep it somewhere as a key, just like as a standing key that maybe I won't necessarily write on, but I don't know, because I just really like it. I just really like it. Sorry, this one here. But we'll see. I might just end up designing my own and keeping one of those in there. But we're going to try and do that today. And then I'm also going to decorate this as well. Now, in terms of everything else that was in here, we had shopping lists, which I think is actually a really good idea. Just keeping track of the things that you might want to buy, maybe gifts that you want to get for people, and la-di-da. And actually what I do want to do with these sheets, because I think I can cut them to size. I think these ones are going to be ones that I kind of like pull out, take out, and then just hole punch and keep them in this planner, because I like how they're designed as well. So we'll see. Once again, once I order the hole punch and it comes, we'll be able to kind of like see how we need to finesse it in terms of size and stuff. But that's kind of where we're at with this. So the rest of this video is going to be me basically figuring out what the design of that should look like and what the design of this should look like. Hi guys, welcome back. So it's actually the next day. I really got into the swing and the flow of decorating, and it was just kind of like too much footage. I feel like to put into a video would have made this really long. So I just want to show you guys how the decoration looks, and then we can go into adding the little accessory that I got for the planner. So I went ahead and decorated the other side of this main dash page. And I think that looks cute. Then I went ahead and made the list that I would need. And when I was making it, I realized that actually there's a lot that you might need to carry on holiday with you. So it ended up extending to this side, this side, this side, this side, and this side. And because I was thinking about how sometimes I might be going on a beach holiday, sometimes I might be going to visit friends, sometimes I might be going on a city break. So essentially there's a lot of different things that I will have to consider, because there's no point of me like having to re-add these things at a later date. So I've just got it separated. I've got like random things here, which is like a book, pen, planner, drink, snacks, towel, bonnet, hair tie, a laying scarf, and then I've got makeup products here that I would need to carry. Then these are hygiene related and clothes, and then on here we've got things that I might need for filming. This is like things that you would need for traveling, so a SIM card, adapter, pen, music, headphones, keys, chargers, that kind of thing. And then over here we've got the main stuff that you need to carry. So I like this contraption mechanism in the sense that I can always refer to it and check off the things that I want to like take with me, just to make sure that I've actually like got everything covered and I'm super organized. The main idea being that with these two sections, or these three sections, which are the most important, I can tick it along with a pencil. And then once I'm done with that particular trip, I'll just rub it out so it's always there. It's quite convenient to use over and over again. So that was the page that I did. I did decorate this one yesterday. Also, the design style or the decorative style that I employed is heavily inspired by a lady that I watch here on YouTube. And I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head. I think it's xoxo. That might be her channel name, I forget, but I'll annotate it somewhere on the screen, or I'll link her channel down below. And she is really good at design and layout, and I'm really inspired by her spreads, her stickering, the way that she approaches decorating. So I kind of was using her as a framework when I was thinking about this. She also has a Filofax pocket, and I got a lot of like tips and tricks from her, from the way that she set hers up. So I will link her channel down below if you guys are interested, and you can watch her as well. But just to say, like, you know, thank you, girl, you really inspired me. So that's this first page, and then we go into the actual these pages I had done before, but the actual kind of like trip bit. Now I decided that I was going to write the name of the trip sort of like in the center, and as long as we're here, let me go ahead and actually fill that in. There's a lot of these things that I'll need to fill in with pen, because I started off in pencil just to make sure I liked how it looked. So let me go ahead and actually fill this in. All right, so I will rub that out later on when it dries. And this is a 0.05 millimeter pen, so it's perfect for getting right in the spaces. So we've got that first page there to introduce the trip. So I'm going to Manchester for the weekend, and then I decided to put this post-it note here that says remember, because I'm sure if you travel a lot, there are, you know, how important it is to have sort of things like this, like remember to switch off the fan before you leave the house, or remember to give this to your neighbor before you leave. Things like that always pop up, right? Just getting close to the trip. So I put it on this tab, and this tab originally was sort of like at the side, like these ones, but I think it works well like at the top, because then I can always just refer to it like this, and then I'll be in the right section anyway. So I'll be able to pop down anything that I need to remember, and if I don't have anything, I can just use this again for the next trip. So that's on there. And then I set up the contacts pages, which have been refurbished now, and this I'm going to use for like the daily section, I think we can call it that. I don't know what to call it officially, because I'm completely like customizing this, so if all the words are all in the wrong place, then don't mind me. Also, a couple of my nails are missing because I want to take them off to wash my hair, so just in case you see that, that's what's going on there. But we've got this section, and I need to fill this in as well, so I'm going to go ahead and rub out the pencil. But I just turned it into the actual specific days that I'm going to be traveling, so it's a 3-day trip. So we've got Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday here. So I figured that would just make sense, because I don't need a weekly view, you know, I don't need like it to have all the other days, you know, I just need it for like the days that I'm traveling. So I'm gonna rub this out, and then I'll write everything in pen. So there's that, and then we move into this section, and this is the to-do list that I've created. So I just did a little bit of decorating again with a little bit of the stickers that I have. And this section here in the center had a lipstick stain, because I got this from TK Maxx and it was on clearance because somebody has scuffed it off with lipstick. So I just put a little sticker on there of a cat hiding behind this washi door, and I thought that was so cute, so cute. So let me go ahead and fill this in pen as well. I decided that I'm going to basically allocate like 1 page to each type of thing just to see how I get on with the inserts before buying any more new inserts. So that's the main flow of the planner so far. Once again, I will rub it out properly once it's dried, and it'll look much neater. So on to the next section. I decided that I was going to use this particular grid style inserts for the actual daily journaling section that I want to be able to incorporate in here. So typically what I'll do in my main journal, my bullet planner, which is more like memory keeping, is that I'll kind of throw down some stickers and then fill in how I'm feeling about the day, thoughts that are coming up, all that kind of stuff around the stickers. And then at the end of the week, or I'll go in and sort of like add embellishments. So I decided to keep the same framework. I just put the title here to say Manchester because that's the trip, and just added a couple of stickers. So as I'm going along, I can just kind of jot down any immediate thoughts that come to mind. The other thing is I have a HP sprocket, so I'm thinking that I'll be able to take pictures of anything that's interesting that I see around, and then when I get home I can just always print them out and kind of like stick them on here as well in the different sections, depending on how I feel or what I think is interesting. So that's how I set up these pages, because these particular inserts, are actually very difficult to they're not difficult to draw on, but it's kind of like hard to see full conversations, so I was like, it doesn't make sense to incorporate them for a lot of writing, which is hence why I've kind of like moved more to stickering, and maybe just kind of like, or even if I see anything cute, I can just cut it out and stick it on here. That's what I'm thinking. Less notes, more so imagery, but we'll see how it goes. I will take a few of my different pens, my gel pens, to see if the color against this will make sense in terms of writing. But this is my first time taking this like out and about, so I don't know what's gonna work. Another thing I was thinking I might need is like a traveling pencil case, because my pencil case is the main one that I use. Is clearly, I don't want to take this on holiday with me. I say on holiday, on vacation, it's literally only 3 days, so I want something smaller that I can fit like a few pencils. This will fit here, but I just like for my gel pens and maybe a pencil and something else, I think I just want something small, but I might have like a long enough makeup bag or something. I don't know, we'll see. I'll figure it out. So that's the intention behind these pages. And then we've got this page here, which is vacation mode, and I've titled it vacation mode, but this is where I want to capture like thoughts that I would need to backfill in my daily journal, my bullet planner. Because yeah, you can actually obviously write down on the lines, it's clearer to see, and I don't necessarily need this to be neat and or decorated. I just need to capture the actual idea, then I'll be able to transfer it on. So that's the whole point of this particular page. And then I made this. So I was talking about how since I have nails, I'm gonna have nails for this trip, it's really hard to pick things up sometimes with them. So I just got this like makeshift plastic thingy, and I just decorated it with a tracker that I had, a sticker tracker. So at least this way I can keep track of like whether I'm drinking water on the trip, vitamins, workout, self-care, food, that kind of thing. And at the back it's got a to-do list, which I probably won't fill out, but it just looks nice. And I just decided to stick it on this page, so it's going to be pretty easy to take out because this washi here is not that sticky at all. So at least I can easily pull it and then use this for scooping things up as I go along, and then I'll just stick it back here for now. It might not live here forever, but at least for now I think it kind of like, it looks nice. Yeah, I'll just leave it. So that's that, and that's basically as far as I got. So I've kept the same framework for each of the other sections. So the next trip I go on, this will be the dashboard, if you will. So I'll be able to write down where I'm going. Then I can put that post-it note here to remember the things. Then we've got the section where I'll be able to put in the days and the dates that I'm traveling. And then I'll be able to sticker this up so I can capture, the moments. And this, I like this grid style writing for my normal day-to-day journaling, but I don't know how I'm going to use it in this context. But I do like this paper, so I'm going to keep it in there just in case I get any ideas when I'm on the go, and so on and so forth. So I think that's as far as I got in terms of that. Now what we want to do today is basically put the stickers in here. So I ordered this off of Amazon yesterday. This is a Filofax insert and it is a clear Ziploc version. They had a few like this, so Ziploc, zip closure envelope. And they had a few different versions in the sense of like there's one with the top opening, so you could be putting things in from the top, but it didn't have the Ziploc side. And there's some on the side as well. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ones depending on what you need to do. But I want the Ziploc mechanism because there's a bunch of random stickers that I need to put in here that I'll need them to be zipped up so that they don't fall out. So hence today's video, or this section, is we're basically going to figure out which stickers to take with me. Now I really want to take this book because I'm going by train and it's going to be a few hours on the train. So I want to take this so I can use it as I'll be using it to like pre-decorate, or on the way back like decorate even further, you know what I mean? But it's just because it's thick, so I don't know if it will make sense. Anyway, we'll see. And then I've got a bunch of like mini stickers that I was using yesterday that I really enjoyed, and I think they might work for this planner going forward. So a couple of these ones, because I have an idea of what I'm going to do with those. Maybe these I can keep behind. I don't need to take all of them because let's be real, like that might be doing too much. I also want to take these tweezers, right? So I have these tweezers and they're blunt now. So I just use them for stickering and stationery stuff. So I want to take these because since I have nails, it's actually really hard to get a hold of stickers without using tweezers. So I want to take this. Yeah, I want to take these tweezers. So I'm wondering if they'll fit in there, but I don't know. Let's see. So we'll put that there. Maybe we can take that. Will that fit? I think I might have to cut this. I might have to cut these. And then we've got a few like this too. Do I need that? I want to take easy ones so that I don't have to think too hard, you know, because I can always redecorate them when I get back home. But I do want to just have a stash of them that I can use. What about this? I'll take one of these. Okay. All right. I think that will be it for now. I think this is good. So let me go ahead and actually just pop this in. Where should I pop it in? All right, you guys, so I've cut them down to size and this is what we're looking like in terms of the stickers that are in here. So let's go ahead and stick this in. I wonder, maybe I might not be able to stick these in there because I think it's getting in the way of opening this up. So I'm just gonna put that there. Yeah, I think these might be getting in the way of kind of like how I open this, even though yesterday it was working fine. So I don't know, I still really enjoy them here. So maybe I'll just put one on there. Teddy bear. Oh my gosh, but they're so cute. Which one should I put, you guys? I don't know, I'll figure that out later. So okay, so that's those. Now I do also have these Filofax ones that I was mentioning that I do want to take with me. I'm not going to take all of the sheets. I just need this sheet here. Oh, I also managed to track these down. They were on Amazon, but they're also on the Filofax website too. So I want to take these ones and I do want to take these ones, and they repeat, so these ones here will be like extra or reserve. So these ones won't be able to fit in this little envelope that I just got. So I'm going to cut them and they're going to go in here. Or should I cut them and have them... Should we do an experiment, you guys? Let me cut them and see... Oh, I might not have to cut them. This is what they'd look like if you tried to like put them in your planner, I guess. Hold on. Oh, they won't fit. They actually, hold on. They won't fit the holes properly. You'd have to do it like this. Nah, they won't, because that one will be out there. So you can't actually like just have them in the ring binders like that. It won't work, so you do have to cut them. Cut the smaller ones. Okay, so I've kind of separated them into two piles. I've got the bigger, more organizational stickers. I say organizational, but just slightly bigger, and the washi dots are gonna go in the envelope because these are more likely to be for like decorative purposes, which it all is decorative purposes, but it kind of makes more sense to me. So the bigger ones will go in the bigger envelope, and then all the stickers with the bigger icons, I mean, and then that means this is also gonna go in here too. But then the smaller ones, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the little sleeve because I think I might want to be able to get a hold of these a little bit easier. I'm also just gonna cut off the sides because I don't need that. So these can go in the sleeve. You know what I'm gonna do as well? Just so that I know where it is, I'm gonna go like this. No, because will it get in the way of opening the Ziploc? Hold on. Yeah, it will. Maybe I can just do it like this as well. Will that work? Nah. All right, I'm gonna pop this on here on this page, just so that I always know where it is. And then we can go ahead and put these in. I'm kind of alternating them as well so that they're visible on both sides. So it's aesthetically pleasing on both sides, you know? So there's that and there's that. So those are the stickers for the most part. And then we can go ahead and put this in here. Cool. I also wanted to take these too, so I can just go ahead and pop these. Although these should live in there, but yeah, put those in there. And then, if you can hear any noise, that's my washing machine in the back. I just put on a load. Right, I need to carry these tweezers. These tweezers have to come with me. They do. So where should we pop these? Should we just pop these in here, guys? How is that gonna mess up the flow? How is that gonna mess up the flow? Is that gonna scuff anything? It might do. But I don't think that's terrible. Is that a bad idea, you guys? Is this a bad idea? I don't know, I'm gonna keep it. Because my initial thoughts were that I was gonna be able to put them in the sticker envelope. But I don't know, hold on, let's see. This is what I was initially thinking, that I would just pop them in here. But is that a bad idea? Because what if this like pokes through and causes a hole? I think that might be a bad idea. See, the sticker's already rebelling. Yep, that's the bad idea. That's the bad idea. And I suppose I could just put, if I'm able to get like a really skinny travel pencil case, then I'll pop this in that pencil case, right? Because that will make sense. But as of right now, although I know TK Maxx should have some small ones. The thing about TK Maxx is you'll see it one day, you won't see it the other. And I remember seeing some really thin pencil cases months back. So I don't know if they're still there. Actually, I was there yesterday and I didn't see them, so yeah. And then we've got this. Now I'm thinking to myself, right, I could take a few of these pages out and then put them in here you know, just to carry with me and decorate as I go along. And that probably is the best idea, because is this a good idea? Like, who am I thinking I am by carrying a whole book with me? Yesterday, actually, wait, before I talk down on my ideas, let me see if it'll close. Yeah, oh, it does. It's all right, isn't it? It's fine, because yesterday I tried to do this, but everything was in there and it wouldn't close. So let me see. Put that in there. Okay, put that there. Put my little postcard. Where is she gonna live? I might have to leave this one behind until I get my hole punch, and then I'll be able to use it as an actual insert. So maybe that's the better idea for this. I'll just wait. That one won't live in there for the time being. I'll just wait until I get an actual hole punch. But okay, so basically, if I do travel with it like this, what will end up happening is I will have to take out the book, take out the this, and then I can start writing like that, because obviously I won't be able to write on them like that, which might be fine. Do you know what I mean? Which might be fine. And again, this is me doing this for the first time, like properly taking this out, so I don't know what I'll actually need and what I won't need. This is crooked. So we're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna figure it out as we go along, and we're gonna have some fun. Let me just put that there. Okay, for the time being, I'm going to keep it like that. Again, I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm not saying I would recommend. I'm just saying that this is what I'm gonna do, and then I will report back once I figured it out. Because is it getting in the way of the... It could do. Also, I think I'm just gonna have to like take these out and leave them aside. If I'm gonna do this, I cannot do this, because it was already interfering and getting in the way. So I'll have to figure out how to make the charms work. Although I love the charms. Ugh. For the sake of traveling, I'm gonna leave the charms to the side for now, okay? Just so I can test run this whole situation. But that's it. That is how I'm getting this planner ready for the next trip that I go on. Once again, I will report back to let you guys know how all of this worked out and what amendments I need to make, because this this Filofax pocket is intended to be a travel one that I can take on the go, on the move, and everything else. So I do really need to test it in real life and make sure it works and it's fit for purpose. But anyway, we've come to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. I'll be back with another one very, very soon. Love you guys lots, and have a great day. Bye.